Blog Talk Radio.
So we were doing the show without the show. We kind of forgot to hit the live on air button, but that's okay. Y'all been here. Y'all already know the topic, right? Yeah. No, we actually were just talking about the aspects of, and there's this. It's just disgusting. I don't know. There's this. What is it? It's mailonline.com, and they have this news article in today's headlines of the boy who started a sex change at age 8 because he and his lesbian parents knew he wanted to be a girl. Isn't that just like child abuse at that point? I mean, seriously? Child doesn't even know about sex yet. And if he does, then what kind of parents, role model people have y'all been, seriously? So.
At that age, and I know there have been certain cases, with some people get born with, because, they're both, and there's different ways you handle that, whether you let them grow up until they decide, or you just make the decision right then and there, 50-50 chance you're going to be right, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't one of those kind of situations, really. I mean, if it was that kind of situation, I would understand where he made his choice, but it's in that kind of situation, he hasn't experienced enough. That's just other interaction, in my opinion.
I was just like, so the parents are looking out from the side and going, hey, look, he's playing with dolls. Yeah, he should have been a girl. You're raising him. You're two women. Get a clue. Just, freaking. He acts like a woman. He does things like a woman. Yeah? That's kind of what happens when Dad's not around. I mean, you can find that in even boys that like Dad's working a lot and he's hardly around, or the one kid who has 4 sisters. He kind of does a few little feminine things.
I mean, a lot of this is all possibility. I mean, I never had dad in my life, and I went from being a innocent child to moderately violent growing up.
Yeah.
We all have FIFO. We all have different ways of acting out.
See, that's one of those things where, like, if Dad had taught you how to control your anger better, blah, 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 but you didn't have Dad around, so, But so you sit there and go, yeah, and we think he's gay. Really?
Yeah, they need more time. I mean, the possibility that they're actually able to predict this kind of thing fast enough is just, at that age, it's not enough. I mean, the chance is too low.
What happens when this kid grows up and he goes, "No, Mom, I really am Bruce." Okay? Or whatever his name is. Who cares? It's just kind of, I feel sorry for the kid. I really do.
I mean, there has to be a certain age where these kinds of decisions have to be left up to the child, not the parents.
Well, see, now this is where you get back to the other stuff, okay? Like the abortion clinics, and one of the things going on with them is, like, they've actually found there was a few abortion clinics that were doing the abortion after the fact, and so they were literally getting sued. And it was one of those things that was famous about a couple of months back, basically, where like they came head to head against this one chick, and she's all like, "Well, that should be between the doctor and the mother," and they're going, "The baby's born at this point, but it should still be between the doctor and the mother." It's like, what? So it's like, then you get into the whole parental rights.
Are you referring to abortions after the baby has been born?
Yes.
I am extremely sure that is not legal.
I'm pretty sure that would be considered murder.
You're right.
Yeah.
Which is why it's been a big deal. I should look that up, actually. Let me find this.
I mean, abortion is one of those topics I try not to touch with, like, any side. I'm just trying to stay completely neutral. I have my reasons for thinking what I do, but other than that, it's like, at that point, if the baby is born and they want to consider it an abortion, I consider myself a survivor of adoption. I escaped a really bad situation. I'm 100%, 120% for adoption because someone will take care of a child rather than just killing it.
Yeah. The deal is, though, that then you're getting in the aspects of, like, well, now you want to impede the life of the biological mother for 9 months while she carries the baby she doesn't want. And it's going to ruin her life and blah, blah, blah. Dude, she's the one that did the stuff to get pregnant in the first place. You know?
Yeah.
So
I often never actually give my opinion on this stuff because whenever I'm talking about abortion people, they are so set in their ways, one side or the other, that they won't really agree to whatever I'm talking about. Overall, I'm middle ground, so I'm able to argue against both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the main opinions, and one side is the fact, there's morning after pills, there's a lot of stuff out there where you don't reach that amount of pregnancy.
Yeah.
And if you do, just got to hit it really, really early. Just be careful on that kind of stuff. You know, there's tests, there's things you can do. There's a lot of it out there. Don't wait till like 6, 7 months in and decide, you know what, now's the time. I mean, that's kind of a bit out there. I mean, you're not just dropping the ball. You're dropping the ball, you're letting it roll out of the court and just watching it go.
My thing is, and to a degree, I'm doing the whole, like, this would be the person with the little vibrator unit getting up and telling you not to smoke in front of the whole, student congregation type method.
Pretty much.
But my deal would be, realistically, go talk to women that had an abortion 20 years ago and see what they say now. Some of them had kids later, some of them didn't. Some of them, even though they've moved on with their life and all that, still majorly regret it. Some of them have huge psychological issues over it. You just kind of go, okay, go talk to people before you, and then the deal is that's where, like, certain organizations go, oh, no, we give counseling. You aren't given the kind of counseling I'm going to give, So, but at the same time, though, if they're set in their ways and they're a selfish type person, dude, I'm going to smoke a cigarette while I listen to you talk with your vibrator, and I don't care. Man, all you're doing is making me want to go get a cigarette.
And more than that, there's other scenarios I've come across. Let's say rape babies. And yes, that is a very situation where psychologically even the parent won't have anything, she won't want anything to do with the baby too. So that's a very extremely acceptable condition.
Yeah, which there's adoption, and then you kind of go, but then she's going to have this half her, half psycho person baby, and but my deal is it's one of those, it happened somehow for some reason, so but then you get into that whole what
you got to take into consideration though mainly is the psychological effects of the baby itself. There are a lot of maternal instincts which take place in childbirth which you just can't ignore.
Right.
I know a very odd example which I've come across before is that on occasions the female body will actually reject the pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
And when that happens, the entire mother's outlook, even if she doesn't want to feel this way, she doesn't really have much of a choice, is that she will instinctually then reject the baby.
Yeah, to a degree. I mean,
as the child grows up, I mean, I've heard cases of this before where she will be unable to properly get along with her own child, even if she does try. Some extreme cases involve killing the child just because of it's a really odd situation too, because when the body rejects the baby will then instinctually attempt to crawl further and further into the mother in order to fear of being lost, to the point where the baby will get close enough to the spine that often a lot of times the pregnancy won't even be detected until many, many months in.
Kind of weird.
Yep. Yeah.
That just kind of tells you, though, that, I mean, if the baby can do that out of fear of death, it's alive. Anyway.
The one situation with that, I can't remember the name of it, but with that one exact scenario, that is only adoption. Even if the mother thinks she wants to take care of the baby, she has to adopt it just because of the psychological effects that the condition occurs with it.
Yeah. Yeah, all this off of the thing I looked at right before. Anyway, I think there's, anyway, we get back to the original topic that I think it's child abuse, basically. Maybe a different form, but yes, I view it as child abuse.
In a way, it would be like psychological child abuse. I feel like those parents would probably be the ones who are feeding the child their bullshit. I can understand. I'm personally okay with transgendered people. I have no problem with a lot of different things like that. But just in general, I feel like a child should be able to make its own choice when it's at least learned what it means to be its primary gender. Like when you start going through the changes, puberty and stuff, then you should be able to make that choice, because you might not want the changes. You might think that these changes are wrong for you or something like that. But I'm happy being a man. I want to be a man for the rest of my life.
Well, so let's look at it a different point of view, and this is bringing in past discussions I've had with other people, but I know a gay person who literally has never been with a woman, okay? And when I say never been with a woman, I mean, like, okay, this person's gay to the aspects of, like, there's the catcher and receiver. He's the, or no, what? How would you say that one? There's the... What?
Pitcher and catcher?
Pitcher and catcher? Well, no,
yeah.
Pitcher and catcher. All right, whatever.
Pitcher
okay, catcher is the one on bottom, I guess?
Yeah.
He receives, yeah.
Yeah, okay, we'll just say the receiver and the giver, okay?
Yeah.
He's the receiver. He's never been the giver, and he's never been with a woman. But he's gay. How do you know, dude? Seriously. How do you know?
I actually talked to quite a few gay people about this. I worked with some when I was working and stuff, and they had actually said that the ones that had never been with a woman, they had said that they just always felt more attracted, more comfortable, and more at ease around other men. Mm-hmm. It's more of like a comfort thing. It's not necessarily a sexual attraction. It's just they feel more comfortable with men rather than with women. It's almost more of a romantic side of it.
It's honestly like what chicks do all the time.
Yeah, in a way.
So that makes you gay, though? No.
No, not necessarily.
I always assumed it was more based on what kind of porn you watch. That's just my general more.
Well, no, I mean, okay, in this person's history, and it's not like I'm trying to draw the person out or anything, so I'm not mentioning any names, or hopefully no one listening knows who I'm talking about or whatever. But the deal would be like this person literally never knew, period. But when they were really young, like family members kind of did abusive type things and all that, but it wound up being that was the way they identified fairly early on because of that, and then from that point on just kind of always stayed towards that. So, nowadays I'm gay. But I'm all like, dude, how do you know? I mean, seriously. It is like, I'm not the casual sex type person, but at the same time, you feel like telling us, dude, just go get a hooker for the weekend and prove it. But, you wouldn't do that. But it's one of those things that, like, I don't understand how you would, like, this 8-year-old kid, how you going to say you're gay? You don't even know anything about sex.
Right. I mean, you could just like playing with your best friend who happens to be a guy more than playing with girls, but that's what boys do. Play football out in the field, play kickball, and figure it out via actual social interaction rather than, I like playing with this person better at 8 years old.
My uncle had a saying once. He always had the theory that it was always more of a spectrum. And
you talking about John's little brother?
No, my uncle.
Oh, I thought you said Michael. I was like,
no. What kind of theories does Michael have? That's off the. Yeah, he mainly used this theory to explain the fact that he wasn't perverted. He was just so far on one side of the spectrum that he just had to love all women. But off that one subject was that he had the spectrum theory where I've often seen like comedians joke about this in the past. And maybe he's like, for instance, have him watch, let's say, some girl on girl, more hardcore stuff. Does he react to that? No. But let's say he watches a guy and the girl and he does react. Maybe he's reacting to the guy, maybe he's reacting to the girl. He can't be sure. And that's just like one thing there. I assume that in that kind of case, people don't really know, but they question it. But then you got to really have to know where exactly do they stand later on.
I've got a whole different view on that. It's kind of skewed, but it goes like this, and this is just, you identify things out of your own life plus what you see out of others and all that, okay? And, of course, it gets a little religious to a point, but realistically, the more sin involved in it and the more into sin you are, the more it'll turn you on regardless of what it is. And that's why I like this progression of things with every kind of sin out there where it starts off as this little innocent thing and then it progresses, and then you wind up a serial rapist one day. as opposed to the guy who just, like looked at porn and stuff. But then as you go the opposite way of it and you get more out of sin and all that, you look back at that stuff that used to turn you on and it disgusts you. You're just like, oh my gosh, how could I ever do that? That type of thing. So it's just, I think it depends on where you stand. It's not necessarily a setting on the dryer that you're always going to be there,
No, so this is what you're referring to as in rather they're into like hardcore S&M bondage versus the more romantic stuff.
Well, okay, so like take S&M bondage for example, right? So like I want to, what would it be like? You're gonna take your girl, you're gonna tie her down to something, you're gonna beat her for a while. Yeah, that gets you hot, right? As opposed to like once you've moved on past that and stuff, you're going, that's kind of weird, dude. I mean, I understand where you could get off on that, but you realize what you're doing to your wife, right? And it's, I don't know, but it's hard to explain unless you've been on both sides of a page like that. What's another one? What's that thing R. Kelly was into? Peeing on girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. See, that's like one of those way that turns you on. Well, that's how far gone he is, realistically. But for him,
another thing to take in consideration is that it's other influences there may be other influences like something more primal, something more like for instance, a lot of that stuff does sound like it's more primal, more animalistic. So there could be something more in the personality. Maybe they're more of a violent person, maybe they're more of an angry person.
But if they change their life,
or that change the aspects of life, and that would then affect the aspects of that.
Mm-hmm. See, but then, and I understand some stuff is whether that regardless of who you want to be and how religious you want to get, dude. There's things that are programmed into you that God put there for a reason. Like for example, majority of guys like boobs. Okay, there's a reason for that. I mean, you can have two preachers walking down on the beach and a girl in a nice bikini and nice body pass them, and they're going to look, That's natural. That's one of those things.
There's a lot more than that. You have your waist, you have your hips, you have your ass, you have your legs, you have your thighs. There's so many beautiful things.
Oh, yeah. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, there are things that you're supposed to be attracted to for a reason. It's a good reason, Yeah. Because otherwise we'd all be like 8-year-old boys confused, I guess. I don't know. So, anyway. So my wife wanted me to bring up this topic, okay? To which case, I'm like, I'm not sure exactly how we're going to talk about this, but I told her I'd bring it up because she had somebody bring it up to her today, okay? So this person was from China and was questioning, now that all the 4th of July stuff that's coming around, okay? Questioning straight up, why is it you Americans are so patriotic? Y'all are so rah-rah my country, rah-rah my flag, rah-rah America, right?
Yep.
But you'll put it on your ass. If you put the flag on your ass in my country, you'd be shot dead. Why do you Americans do this? That was basically the question.
Let's see.
To which case,
I have no idea who would put a flag on their ass.
It's like tattoos, for instance. Like,
well, yeah. I mean, I'm all for tattoos.
This is like somebody sagging their underwear, and they had flag underwear.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
But my deal is, okay, to a degree, I get where the person's coming from, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, I don't have a problem wearing a flag T-shirt. Of course, I'm not sagging my flag underwear. No. I might wear flag underwear because I'd be all like, yeah, hey, cool, check my underwear out, but I'm not going to go around displaying them for people.
Now, the issue that is that it's more in China. Patriotism is more strict. Well, everything's a lot more strict if you think about it, but... Well, with us, patriotism is just growing in America, it's such an everyday kind of thing, is that it can't be everywhere. It can't be anything. There's a lot of different ways people can be patriotic. A lot of things that make people feel patriotic is that because patriotism it's so abundant overall. And so it's such a large piece of American society is that to be American is often to be patriotic.
Right.
That it can be in that kind of situation and people won't see it as wrong. It's just that it's so abundant that you can't really be strict about it.
Well, you can. I mean, like for example, I'm ex-military here, so some of the stuff shines out. Period, dude. The flag touches the ground, you done messed up. Okay, go dispose of the thing you've now. You've now corrupted it. But at the same time, like the dude with the flag underwear, I'm kind of like, okay, so he wears flag underwear. So what?
That's also because it's not an actual flag.
Right.
If it's not an actual flag, it's not the flag itself. It's merely a symbol of the flag, or the symbol of patriotism.
With that said, though, let's say like some dude gets like his own personal tattoo or flag on his jacket or whatever, and he changes it. He like modifies it to a degree. Dude, you done pissed me off. Yeah.
Like it's a modified flag, as in.
Yeah, like he did something to it. It's not you took the American flag and you screwed it up.
Like he painted flames on it or something?
Yeah, who knows? Whatever,
I think the only way I would ever modify it is something like a phrase, like "In God We Trust," "For My Country," something like that. If I'm doing patriotic flag, that's what I'm going to go with. But nothing over the top. Definitely not painting.
Like, are we talking like
American flag?
Like, are we talking like fire in the background, or like a cobra's bursting out of it? I mean, or is it just like they added some phrase to it?
No, he let's say we're going back to the gay pride, lesbian family, 8-year-old thing, right? So they change it to be a gay pride American flag somehow. I have no clue how they do that, but they did it. They put a big rainbow across the middle of it. They changed the stars to be a rainbow flag. Something.
That's a little strange. However, in a way, I can see that it's not necessarily disrespecting the flag. It's more that he's respecting both America and his gay rights.
It's just that they're attaching, when you don't, if it's not a flag itself, it's not necessarily a flag. It's more like it's a chunk of patriotism. That's one way to think of it, or a chunk of pride or something like that. And if they're merely trying to mix that with something else that they also feel strongly about, and some things don't mix. It all depends on people's personal taste.
I'm just like, don't mess with my flag. I'm patriotic to that point. And I mean, I don't care what you want to do. Do you want to change those stars out and make it a big Air Force fighter jet? No, get it off my flag. I understand we made the jet here. I understand it's American defense. Get it off my flag. That's not part of my flag. But at the same time, I'm all like, rock on with your Hilfiger, underwear over there. No, I was laughing with my wife. I told her this way in terms of the getting shot for your underwear in China. I said, yeah, in all honesty, he'd probably get shot for sagging in the first place, because it'd be like, stop dumbing down the, education level of my country.
Pretty much.
Anyway,
what if you were to change something on the flag, but then explain it with a phrase? Something like, say you're ex-military, you get an American flag, but instead of the stars, you get like maybe bullet holes or something that shows that you would have, in a way, fought for your country.
No, you done messed up my flag. You can put it around it. You can put it like on a banner where it shows the flag as part of your overall tattoo. You can do something like that, but leave my flag alone.
All right.
The only way you need to change my flag is if you add in stars to it, because we're gaining other states. And then what benefit are they bringing in? Because, like, for example, you know how much support we give to Mexico? Seriously?
Honestly, yes. I was actually thinking of this the other day.
Yeah.
And it's going to raise a lot of flags, but why can't we just invade and capture Mexico?
No,
we already give them.
We don't want it.
We don't. I can understand why we wouldn't invade, and I get why we wouldn't invade. My deal would be, we don't even need to invade, dude. If you put it up for a vote right now and you say, hey, Mexico, how would you like to become the 51st state? We're going to break y'all up and make like 5 states out of y'all, however y'all want to do it. But we're going to just make y'all part of the United States. Sound good? And they're all like, I don't know. Let us weigh the options here. Let's see.
Weigh those options.
We get paved roads. We'll get hospitals. We'll get, I don't know. Snipo would be better on there. I don't know what Snipo is, but he'd be. To ask them that. But yeah, I mean, I'm willing to bet that if we put it up there, they might be willing to go for it. At the same time, though, getting back to that pride thing of Americans, we kind of go headstrong America, like everybody wants to be us, and sometimes they don't want to be us. So you never know.
I can understand that we're pretty much hated by a lot of the world, but it's something like when we're giving a lot of aid to Mexico, when we're doing a lot of different things like that, how can we not?
Boris, you got background.
Oh,
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, show your background or whatever.
Oh, I know why.
Yeah, you weren't on the show. I tried to bring you on earlier. Anyway, I tried to drag you in here because we got a quick question for you. Okay?
Yeah, tell me.
Where'd you go?
I'm here.
No, you're way out there now.
Now it's more quiet.
What of now?
The background
Okay,
sound.
just keep it with the background. That's fine. Okay, quick question. Okay?
Yeah.
So if we, as the United States, came forward and said, hey, Mexico, how would you like to become like the next couple of states? Like we're going to keep it an even number, so we're going to make like 5 states out of y'all. So we're gonna incorporate y'all in as states.
He doesn't sound too happy with that.
No, that sounds really
Huh?
impressive. I don't know really. I will have to think about it, but I will say yes. Why not?
You'd say sure?
Yeah.
Cool. So he's all in for it. See?
Yeah, why not? Every whatever will be better than what is now. So it's okay.
Okay. You get paved roads.
America.
You get paved roads. You get all kinds of fun things.
You get paved roads, Starbucks, and what else do we get? Barnes and Nobles. What else do we bring? McDonald's.
I think they've already got McDonald's now.
Y'all have McDonald's?
McDonald's is everywhere.
You have McDonald's?
Everyone has McDonald's.
Yeah, we have McDonald's.
It's just part of life.
You might get Burger Kings now then. Burger Kings will bring you the Texas Whopper, but they'll call it the Mexicana Whopper.
Well, anyway, we have everything. Actually, we are already part of
You don't have
the United
everything.
States.
You got
Not part
five.
of the
You got
United
5
States,
guys
yeah.
down there.
What?
You have 5 guys?
5 guys?
Yeah.
We just got a 5 guys.
Yeah.
We've had a 5 guys. We've got
Oh yeah. It was
We've
recent.
got a 5 guys. Where is it? In Westfield is the one you're talking about, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean, it's moderately recent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's moderately recent.
Meanwhile, Snipo in the back of his head's all, what are you talking, dude? We got a couple of hundred.
Man,
Yeah, exactly. We got thousands of guys. What are you
Thousands
doing?
of guys. What the?
one time or what?
Anyway. No, I just figured I'd bring you in real quick for that since you didn't answer earlier. So, but yeah. So you're cool with becoming part of the United States, huh?
Yeah, but under what conditions?
That you have to wear underwear with the flag on it.
Yeah, why not?
Let's go.
Yeah, that works. Oh, good times.
Yeah, we'd call you the Deep South.
The what?
The
Deep
deeper south than normal.
Yeah.
But there is already a deep south.
Well, now there's the Deep South.
Alabama.
Really deep south. Okay.
I'm southward now.
You should be asking really, really Mexican. I'm proud of being from Mexico. That question, because I'm not so proud of. So maybe the really, really Mexican person, patriotic, is going to tell you other things. Maybe.
Well, where are they? I need to get them on the show then.
Well, they don't speak English.
Oh. Well, that's okay. I can speak Espanol. How would
They do
you
only need to get a Mexican.
like to be an Americano? See? I said it very well.
Very nice.
I love it. Anyway, all right. That's it for our show pretty much today. I hope y'all have enjoyed. Blah, blah, blah. Maybe we didn't even get around to picking a show name today. There you go.
We didn't even bother bringing it up.
No, we're losers. Yeah.
Well, how